Thank you for reminding Bala. Some of the most, the latest principles of cognitive science, which is going to be extraordinarily important in understanding the various, nuances of communication, we are going to be seeing in these workshops. Today's workshop is going to be extremely important. It is going to start the series of workshops for learning management. Let's begin. At any point of time you want any clarification, kindly stop me and ask me. Don't hesitate. You will have to implement it. And as I said, at the end of every session, I will be giving assignment for the next session. And please, with folded hands, I am requesting you, if you don't complete the assignment, don't join the session. Don't waste your time and others' time. Only those who can complete the assignment should join back the next session. Because there is no point in attending this class if you are not going to practice it. You all paid money for it, isn't it? Am I right or wrong? So why not learn something from it and start practicing it for your betterment? When I give an assignment, give at least 5 minutes of time every day for that assignment, complete it, and then join the next session, so that there will be some forward movement in your learning and there'll be some improvement in your management abilities. Not that you are all incapable, you're all highly capable, but you're all joining here possibly because you want to learn something new. For that, you will have to practice. With these few words, let us begin. We are going to have a case study now. TechWare. It's a smart clothing company. It's a startup that has developed smart clothing that tracks health metrics. It has a very strong product, but they are struggling to scale. They are really struggling to scale. The reason is, number one, internal resistance to shifting from retail store to direct to consumer. The management in its strategy decided that they will not go to the retail store. They will go direct to the consumer. Now there is a lot of internal resistance to that. Second thing is, a lot of money is required in every aspect. So suddenly what it finds, the company finds that it has got very limited funding for marketing. It requires funding for technology, it requires funding for manufacturing, it requires funding for R&D. So you see what is happening is there is very limited funding for marketing. Third thing is, suddenly they find that the employees are doubting whether this new product line, this shift will work. Will it be able to bring the result which the company wants? And finally, there is a pushback from the retail partners with whom they are working. See, this is not the only product they have got. Even though for this product, they have shifted from retail to direct consumer. Still, the other products, the retail partners are there. And now there is a tremendous pushback from them. They are saying that why you are depriving us of the opportunity of making money through this new product line. This is what the company is seeing. What is it? Number one, they find that there is an internal resistance to shifting from retail to direct to marketing. Even the internal people, the company people, the management, many people in the management, they are not interested in shifting to retail to direct consumer. Second thing is, with the amount of resources they have got, they find that for marketing, very little funding is available. Because R&D, you can't do anything with a product like this, high-tech product, you require R&D. Technology is required, otherwise you can't manufacture it. Machinery, high-end machineries are required, otherwise you can't manufacture it. Given all these things, they find that there is very limited funding for marketing. Third thing is employees themselves doubt whether this shift of the focus of the company towards the smart clothing will work. And above all, even the retailers with whom they are working currently for their other product mix, there is a pushback. Am I clear? Have you understood?
Yes,
Please
sir.
reply. Have you understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please don't make me ask 4 times before you answer. We will only be wasting time. Please be fast. It is going to be totally conversational. Now tell me, what are the resistance you are? Yes.
I wanted to understand what is pushback, sir.
Pushback means the retailers are refusing. They are, resisting. They are telling, no, the product should come to us. We are already selling your other products. Why you will not give this product? Why will you go direct to the consumer? They are pushing back on that idea. Now, what are the hurdles that you are seeing?
Guruji, Vikas.
Yes.
So first is the limited resources for marketing, and then the retailers relationship, the partnership which they have with the retailers. There is a huge resistance. Retailers don't want to get them into the direct marketing, direct sales, and these two hurdles definitely I listen.
Okay.
And
Anybody else?
Yeah.
The skill required for the skills required for direct consumer is different. The skills required for to retail partner is different. So the employees may have a doubt on their own skills.
So where is that visible? That's not visible there. Yeah.
Employees are doubting the very idea of direct to customer.
So what does it
Will
mean?
be successful or not?
Okay.
And there is a resistance to shift, which is a general change resistance.
Okay.
These four are listed.
Yes, Anil sir.
There is a myth in their mind that unless the people come and meet at the store, so they will not be able to completely satisfy the customers.
Okay.
The reason I said is internal resistance, due to internal resistance.
Okay. Anybody else? Raju sir.
I feel that. Go ahead, Suresh sir. Okay, I feel that there is. They are launching a new product, and the biggest hurdle is that the mindset of the people, and this is a niche product, and it's not off-the-shelf item, which you can get it anywhere. So, okay, that's the hurdle I see. Change in the perception of people is the hurdle. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, anybody else? Suresh?
See, there are 4 issues that have been presented. One is basically the internal resistance for shifting from through retailer to direct consumer, though it's a technical product. Second is limited funding for marketing because they are more focusing on technicality, market, research and development, and product development. That is one aspect. Third is employee themselves is doubting whether this will work and why company is spending so much of time directly to market. And last, even the traditional retailers who have been buying other products, they are showing their concern.
Bala, would you like to try?
Also, there is a fear in the mind of the employees. They may not lose their job in future.
Very good. Now let's see. What exactly is that? Yes, Nageshwar Kumar has come. Mr. Nageshwar Kumar, can you just unmute your video, please? Suresh, keep your video unmuted. Don't make me say it again and again. Suresh, unmute your video.
Yes, sir. Good evening. I will join in another in the car, but I will join in laptop quickly, sir.
Okay, no issue.
Yeah.
Just participate.
Yeah.
See, as Suresh rightly pointed out, there are 4 different. There are 4 different hurdles which are present in this. Let us see what they are. The first is the cognitive hurdle. Convincing employees of the need for change. That is the first hurdle which you saw. Why change is hard to accept is what the cognitive hurdle addresses. The second is the resource hurdle. How you can achieve more with the limited resources which is there. Limited funding for marketing. You see, whatever the resources are there, that has to be worked with for the entire thing. Why is this not going on? The third is motivational hurdle. Employees feel, that whether this will work or not. They have their own doubts in their mind. That has to be overcome. And finally, the political hurdle. Managing resistance from powerful internal and external stakeholders. In implementing any strategy, big or small, all these 4 are going to be there. Cognitive hurdle. How the strategy or your decision is viewed. Resource hurdle. How you are going to reallocate the limited resources that you have. Number 3, the motivational hurdle. How you are going to drive the necessary change which has to be driven, because the people who are going to implement it, you are not the person who's going to implement it. You are only planned, you are only strategized. The people who have implemented it, if they are not going to be sold on it and they are not going to assume ownership of it, it will not work. And finally, please remember one thing. Everyone has an axe to grind. Everyone has his personal, motives. And that is where internal and external stakeholders resistance comes in. And it can be very powerful. That is the political hurdle. All these 4 have to be handled. It is very easily said. Let us take the first one. I will give you a case study. You'll have to tell me what it is. This is the performance of a company in the post-COVID era. For the period from when the COVID struck, for the next 15 months, this is how the company's performance has come down, and that is very logical. It will get affected. Every company in the world got affected when the COVID pandemic happened. The company's performance slipped drastically in the last 15 months. The management felt a need to strategize to get out of the poor performance and revenue problem. Okay? Please concentrate on what I am telling, because the case study and the breakout room activity is going to start after that. The company's performance has slipped in the last 15 months from the period of the COVID to after 15 months of the COVID. Total dip in revenue and sales was there. The top management felt there was a need to strategize to get out of this poor performance and revenue problem. They chalked out a plan. And the CEO was asked to convey the plan to the people. What was the plan? The plan was that they will move into some major new markets and some new geographies. They are going to start marketing in some major new markets and new geographies with some new significant products. This is the first step. Simultaneously, what they were going to do, it was decided that they will merge existing geographies and expand into newer ones. And in doing so, they will reduce expenditure. When they merge geographies, automatically, the logistics and the sales people will be reduced. There will be reduction in the cost. And because of expanding into new geographies, there will be an increase in revenue. They even worked out the percentage of it. They worked out that 12.4% of reduction in expenditure will be there on manpower, and 7% will be the resultant increase in revenue because of going into new geographies. What will be the overall outcome of it? The overall outcome of it will be 1.8% increase in net profit for the forthcoming quarter. It was decided that this plan will roll out from Monday. The next Monday it will roll out. New core teams will be formed, and these new core teams will drive the operation, reduction of manpower, merging of territories, launching of new, everything will be done by them. These tactical and organizational changes, structural changes, will be created into booklet and will be distributed to the people. This is what was decided. Can any one of you repeat what I said? So that I want to know that you have understood it correctly. Yes, Yogeshji, boliye.
So there is this company which has faced a severe downturn in COVID period for last 15 months. And to overcome that, they plan to move to new markets, public geographies, and launch new products. They want to merge existing geographies to curtail on costs and expenditure and expand to new geographies so that they are able to capture a new market. There will be a 12.4% reduction in manpower when they are going to merge the geographies, and there will be a 7.7% increase in revenue when they are going to expand to new geography, resulting into 1.8% of net profit increase. The whole plan is to be rolled out from next Monday, which is going to be planned by a new core team, which is entitled or which is designated to work.
Hey, let us.
Yeah, go ahead.
The structural changes brought about by the team will be documented in an organizational change booklet, which will be distributed to all the team members.
Okay. Any questions in this? Any questions?
Yes, sir. 7% will be revenue will be decreased, no?
Increase.
Increase.
Because of new geography, getting into new market, the increase will be 7% in revenue. Because of merging of territories and reduction of field force, there will be a decrease of 12.4% in cost.
Oh, thank you.
Vikasji, please unmute. Vikasji, please unmute your video.
Guruji, I have sent a message at 8:05. I need some time.
Okay.
Sorry, Guruji.
No issue. Yeah. Any other questions by anybody?
Yeah, one question.
Yeah.
The core team, a new team or existing one?
Core team, new team will be formed.
Okay.
Are you clear? So, The CEO calls for a meeting of the managers of the company.
Core team is from the existing resource pool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Core team from the existing management team only will be formed. So the CEO calls the members of the management, the middle and senior management, to convey this strategy to them. Because it has to be conveyed. Now the board has decided this with the topmost management, the CEO, with the CEO, the board has decided. It has to be conveyed to the management and it has to be taken forward. Is that clear? This is the context. Now, the CEO has called. Mathur साहब म्यूट कीजिए. I request everyone to keep their audios muted. Only when you want to speak and then mute it back again. So the CEO has called for everyone. All the people have assembled in the hall and the CEO is informing it to them. Please listen to what the CEO is telling. Please listen carefully to what the CEO is going to speak. Thanks for coming as a short notice. I want to make an exciting announcement today. The board met yesterday and came out with a plan for the challenges posed with the pandemic. You're all aware that for the last 15 months, revenue and sales have been steadily decreasing. We think we have been able to find the right thing to do through a process of restructuring and realignment. As of Monday, gentlemen and ladies, we are embarking on a radical change in strategy and direction. We are going to be moving into some major new markets, in new geographies, and we are going to be developing some significant new products to do that. By merging existing geographies and expanding into newer ones, we plan to enhance our reach while reducing expenditure. Our rough estimate puts the reduction of expenditure on manpower at about 12.4%, and new geographies are likely to net about 7% increase in revenue. The combined impact is expected to be about 1.8% on net profits during the forthcoming quarter. New core teams will be formed and the migration of the project will be completed in 3 months starting this Monday. Obviously, tactically, there are some organizational changes. So in the handouts at the back, we have the new organizational styles. Hope you are as excited about these changes as I am. Thank you. Do you want to hear it once more or is it enough? Yeah, let me
Enough
know.
for
Please.
me.
No, it's enough.
Once more.
Okay. Thanks for coming as a short notice. I want to make an exciting announcement today. The board met yesterday and came out with a plan for the challenges posed with the pandemic. You're all aware that for the last 15 months, revenue and sales have been steadily decreasing. We think we have been able to find the right thing to do through a process of restructuring and realignment. As of Monday, gentlemen and ladies, we are embarking on a radical change in strategy and direction. We are going to be moving into some major new markets, in new geographies, and we are going to be developing some significant new products to do that. By merging existing geographies and expanding into newer ones, we plan to enhance our reach while reducing expenditure. Our rough estimate puts the reduction of expenditure on manpower at about 12.4%, and new geographies are likely to net about 7% increase in revenue. The combined impact is expected to be about 1.8% on net profits during the forthcoming quarter. New core teams will be formed and and the migration of the project will be completed in 3 months starting this Monday. Obviously, tactically, there are some organizational changes. So in the handouts at the back, we have the new organizational styles. Hope you are as excited about these changes as I am. Thank you. Now let us look into the structure of the CEO stock. He is talked about what is the change, where did it come from, what will it achieve, how will we get there? Do you agree with me?
Go back to the earlier slide, sir.
Huh?
Go back to the earlier one, the slide.
What is the change? Where did it come from? What it will achieve? How we will get there? All the four he has articulated.
Okay, thank you.
Am I correct? Do you feel that the strategy is comprehensive? Up to the financials, they have worked it and it has been conveyed. My question is very simple. Do you think this logic will work? I am going to split you. There are 10 people here. I am going to split you into two groups. You will have 20 minutes to discuss this strategy, this delivery by the CEO, and revert back to me with the impact of this on the people. Are we ready? I'm splitting you into two rooms,
Yeah.
5 each.
So, just a question is the impact.
Impact of this speech, ये जो strategy जो convey किया गया है, उसका क्या impact है?
Okay.
In the end, he says, I hope you are all as excited about this as I am. It is a strategy. You are all senior managers. You are all business leaders. You are all business owners. Imagine yourself in the CEO's position. Let Vikas imagine himself as the consultant who is addressing a company, which is, consulting, is giving the consultation. He is conveying this strategy to them. Yogesh is conveying the strategy to his team. Jayaji is conveying the strategy to his team, and Mr. Balakrishnan is conveying the strategy to his team. What do you think is going to be the impact? Are we ready? Please move towards your team. You got 20 minutes. I have opened the room. Please move. Don't waste time. Immediately move and start discussing. Suresh, move. Anilji, go.
By mistake press हो गया.
Huh?
Oh, by mistake I pressed it. I have to go there.
जाइए ना.
वो कैसे है जाए? वो press दोबारा करना पड़ेगा. You have to do again, है?
मैंने आपको रूम नंबर 1 में है ना?
No. I have come out by mistake.
ठीक है, आपको रूम नंबर 1 में जाना है ना?
Sir, yes, sir. My computer is problem.
You go to room number 2, Goswami sir. Welcome back. So how was the breakout room activity?
Fantastic.
Hmm?
Fantastic.
So we have 2 rooms.
Yes.
Oh, let's start with room number 2.
Okay.
Let us hear what it is that you have all discussed and what it is you have arrived at, what conclusion you have arrived at.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was on room number 2. Okay.
Yes.
I would like to state some of the points that we have discussed and we have noted down, which have come up. Initially, the response was confusing, that the CEO has not given us a clear picture as to what is about to happen. He has mentioned what will be done, but he has not given a clear picture. Then the second point was the employees started thinking, we are going, the organization is going to do all this, but what's in it for me? Am I going to lose my job or am I going to be retained? Then on the other hand, some positive employees were excited about the new possibilities because of the new geographical areas. And then there was further excitement regarding if there are new geographical areas and further expansion, there may be even upscaling of my abilities to adapt to the new change. Then further, there was also a thought that has the management thought about the resource allocation from the perspective of hotspot, cold spot for maximizing the returns. And then at one point it even came, the management has gone through this and designed the new strategy, but they have not included us in this. They have done it without including us. That is, they have excluded us from the strategic planning. That was one of the thoughts. And then at the end of the speech, the CEO said tough times require tough measures. And now they are again aligned to the CEO. Yes, you are right. We are with you. That kind of thought also came to the mind. And then all the several measures taken at some point of time seem to be plausible, that there may be some profit and we may be going from loss to profit. That is a good sign for the organization and thus for us. And finally, whether there is an assurance that no employees will be removed, considering that manpower cost will be reduced by 12%. Since the cost will be reduced, the assumption is no one will be removed, only the salaries may be cut. So all in all, the conclusion is not conclusive, so to say, but there is, in some part it is excitement and in some part there is anxiety. That is what we have come to the conclusion of. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, team number 1. Let's hear from you. Who is going to present for team number 1?
Rishi, you are, otherwise I will.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just, sir, in our team, we have also mentioned, the CEO has mentioned about the change. The change is, will be new significant product for the new product and new geography changer or merging change. But and where did come from the same sources, from the same. But he has not mentioned about the from where we'll achieve. And so during this, the impact of the speech is that everyone is getting fear that we will be either shifted from the or from, we will be drop out, lose our job or something. They mention this impact of this speech comes, the fear of the losing job has come in the mind. And the radical during the radical changes, what will be happen to Monday? This question comes in our mind. And further, Sureshji, you please explain.
See, there are a few discussions that came. Ravichandran sir was very clear that the CEO has talked about how we will get there, where will the resources be allocated, all those things he has mentioned about when he made the presentation. So that way it is a positive aspect. Only thing is we have to wait for the core team to explain how they are going to move about it. Because he has very clearly mentioned where did the change come from, will it law saying what will happen and how will we get there. All those things has been told by the CEO is what some of the aspect that came up in the discussion. But the question is how the core team is going to handle the management team and the overall staff. What are the new markets? What is the guarantee that we are going to get the desired results? How the new product is going to act? And overall, if you just look into it, there are 7.4 percentage. If you just look into it, is the 1 second 7.4% from the new geography. What about the existing geography? Because we are going to eliminate something, then only we need to add the new geography. So that is a concern area. And overall, it's 1.8% profit, which look little minimal. That is a concern. Overall, if you look into it, unless the core team explains very clearly on Monday what they are going to do, how they are going to do, there can be an ambiguity. That is the overall impression of the team 2.
Anyone else from team 1 or team 2 would like to share something which they could not possibly add there or that was missed out?
It is just like VUCA situation in the mind of the employees. So the situation is initially it is volatile, complex, all those things. But later on, when the management they engage with the team and try to clarify all those things, then they win over the confidence, and the employees has to align with the management for the benefit of the organization. Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes.
There might be a question of 1.8% net profit when the reduction in manpower cost is around 12.4%. So people might get perplexed with this, and there will be a huge fear of retrenchment or fear of losing their salary or becoming very much intolerant about it.
Yes, Mathur sir.
1.8% net increase. He is saying net, whatever existing was there, but further it during this strategy, 1.8% further increase from the net profit. Suppose if we are having 10% profit, so now it will be 11.8%. This is so the somewhere fear is low, but it's just sinking. That is.
Yes. Anybody else? Vikas?
Guruji, मेरे लिए इसमें I was not in the conversation.
This is precisely what happens, Vikas.
Yeah.
Sir, you touched about hurdles, 4 hurdles: cognitive hurdle, resource hurdle, motivational hurdle, and political hurdle. In this particular aspect, the cognitive hurdle is the lack of clarity for the management team. The resource hurdle is how the resources are going to be utilized, how the new market, what new product and other things, there is ambiguity. Motivational hurdle, will the salary come down, with my job will be at stake and other aspects. And the political hurdle is what about the new core team and how they are going to handle. So that way there are 4 hurdles. What you explained about is being reflected in this case study is what I look at it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. See, otherwise, I think you all have done a fairly good job. Now let us see what exactly it is. Now I am going to introduce you to two major cognitive principles. Two very major cognitive principles which you have to understand. As Suresh so beautifully summed it up, the first hurdle is a cognitive hurdle. Without overcoming the cognitive hurdle, every other hurdle becomes impossible to handle. We will see why. There are two things, There is something called a competing logic. What is the competing logic? One is the logic of the communicator. What is the logic of the communicator? Is the strategy which he has created, the board has created. The second is the receiver-centric logic. This is the competing logic. The competing logic between the communicator. The communicator is conveying something, but the receiver is receiving something entirely different. The receiver is not receiving what the communicator is communicating here. For instance, the moment the CEO has raised an enormous question, when he has given this speech, with every passing sentence, an enormous question has been created in the minds of the listener, which is taking them more and more away from what the communicator is telling. What is the listener thinking? How will I tell my family? I might lose my job. Was it a good time to refinance the house? Was it a good time to buy that car? Now, what will happen to my, EMI if something goes wrong? Is that job which my brother was suggesting to me, is it still available? Should I make a change now? Because the person was talking about merging territories, entering into new territories, reducing the expenses by 12% in terms of manpower. How do you reduce 12% in terms of manpower without retrenchment? You can't do that. So you see, automatically there is a lot of negative questions which keep coming up in the mind of the people. In other words, the people are not listening to anything which the CEO is telling. They are only swimming around in a burning question: do I have the job? The problem here is of competing logic. The logic of the communicator. If the statement is communicator-centric, which it is, then the receiver centricity is totally gone and nothing will enter, and a huge cognitive perceptive problem will arise. This is how cognitive hurdles arise. So what is the solution? The solution is to create a receiver-centric presentation. Now listen to this presentation. Now let us see. From this presentation, we will know what is going to happen. Thanks for coming on such short notice. I want to make an exciting announcement. The board met yesterday and came out with a plan for the challenges posed by the pandemic. For the last 15 months, revenue and sales have been steadily decreasing. We think we have been able to find the right thing to do through a process of restructuring and reassignment. I am sure the question uppermost in your mind at this moment is, how are you going to be affected by this restructuring? Right? Before proceeding further, let me make one thing clear. None of you are going to lose your job. On the contrary, we are looking for you to make this plan a big success and have plans to reward you all for your unstinted support. With the company doing well, it's only natural that you and your family should also get a better quality of life. So let's move on. As of Monday, we are embarking on a radical change in strategy and direction. We are going to be moving into some major new markets in new geographies, and we are going to be developing some significant new products to do that. By merging existing geographies and expanding into newer ones, we plan to enhance our reach while reducing expenditure. A rough estimate puts the reduction of expenditure on manpower at about 12.4%. New geographies are likely to net about 7% increase in revenue. The combined impact is expected to be about 1.8% on net profits during the forthcoming quarter. New core teams will be formed, and the migration of the project will be completed in 3 months' time, starting this Monday. Obviously, tactically, there are some organizational changes. So, in the handouts at the back of the room, we have the new organizational chart. I hope you are as excited about this change as I am. Do you want to hear it once more? Or is it enough?
Once more is required, sir, because it's not audible clearly.
Thanks for coming on such short notice. I want to make an exciting announcement. The board met yesterday and came out with a plan for the challenges posed by the pandemic. For the last 15 months, revenue and sales have been steadily decreasing. We think we have been able to find the right thing to do through a process of restructuring and reassignment. I am sure the question uppermost in your mind at this moment is, how are you going to be affected by this restructuring? Right? Before proceeding further, let me make one thing clear. None of you are going to lose your job. On the contrary, we are looking for you to make this plan a big success and have plans to reward you all for your unstinted support. With the company doing well, it's only natural that you and your family should also get a better quality of life. So let's move on. As of Monday, we are embarking on a radical change in strategy and direction. We are going to be moving into some major new markets in new geographies, and we are going to be developing some significant new products to do that. By merging existing geographies and expanding into newer ones, we plan to enhance our reach while reducing expenditure. A rough estimate puts the reduction of expenditure on manpower at about 12.4%. New geographies are likely to net about 7% increase in revenue. The combined impact is expected to be about 1.8% on net profits during the forthcoming quarter. New core teams will be formed, and the migration of the project will be completed in 3 months' time, starting this Monday. Obviously, tactically, there are some organizational changes. So, in the handouts at the back of the room, we have the new organizational chart. I hope you are as excited about this change as I am. So what exactly happened? When it was the presenter-centric or the communicator-centric, there was fear of losing. But when it became audience or receiver-centric, it became an anticipation of gain. This is what is called competing perception. So whenever you are going to be addressing a group of people in conveying a strategy, the first thing to do in your communication is to consider how it is going to be perceived by the receiver. This brings us to an extraordinarily important principle of cognition. This principle is called antipophora. All of you might be thinking, how is it possible to understand what the person to whom you are speaking is thinking? Yes, it is possible. That is called antipophora or mind reading. How do you do that? The first thing, you're going to present a point that will naturally raise a thought or question in the audience's mind. You have to be able to understand what the crowd is going to think when you raise a point. This is very, very, very important. And then, whatever the question is, call it a natural question or an audience question, you have to be able to answer it for them without their asking it. In this case, the moment you say that we are going to be merging territories, we are going to be expanding into new geographies, there is going to be a reduction of 12.8% or 12.4% revenue. The first question which will come in the mind of the audience is, where is that reduction going to come from? Am I on the hit list? Now, if you don't answer that question, everything you talk after that is going to go over the head because the person is not going to listen to you. You are not the only person who knows that sales has been declining, revenue has been declining. Even they know. They are also equally worried. They are the management team. So it is necessary for you to first get them onto your side and make them a part of the driving team. So obviously, the moment you do that, what happens is, now they start focusing on what you are talking. That will give them a peace of mind, and then they will listen to what you are telling. They will cooperate with you. They will participate with you. You will be able to create the ground for the cognitive hurdles to be overcome. Not that with this simple one paragraph insertion into the speech, the entire cognitive hurdle will be overcome. No. As you move into implementation, there are going to be perceptive hurdles at every step with different categories of employees, with the same employee at different stages, where he will not be clear as to what is in it for him, what he is expected to do. So you will have to keep clearing it. But in all those cases, you will have to use the principle of antipophora. When I talk to you, I have to be able to understand what is going to happen. How are you going to take it? If I cannot anticipate it as an employer, as a senior management, or as a consultant, I am going to make disastrous mistakes. And remember one thing, in real world situation, you will never get a second chance. You will never get a second chance. One blunder and you are done. So be very careful. We are only at the cognitive hurdle stage. And in cognitive hurdle, the moment you convey, always keep in mind the principle of competing logic. The competing logic is the way you are telling it is not the way the other person is going to receive it. He has his own logic. He has his own priorities. He has his own assumptions. He is going to receive it only based on those. And it is up to you to ensure that you bring him over to your side so that he appreciates the situation by which he will benefit. Please understand one thing. People do not understand what they will benefit. They do not understand. It is to the senior manager to be able to explain it to him. Let me give you a simple example. Many of you might think, what does he mean by saying the senior manager? Why should a junior manager not be able to understand better than his senior? Can any one of you tell me?
Because of experience.
Very simple, Mr. Nageshwar Kumar. You are standing on the 10th floor of a building. Your subordinate is standing at the ground floor. Whose vision will be further and who will have a better picture?
At a higher floor, who is having?
The 10th floor person will automatically have. From the
Yes.
position that you hold, you have got more information of what the situation is.
That's right.
So automatically a subordinate will not know that. That is the reason why it is mandatory on your part to be able to understand what he is going to realize, what he is going to think and feel. So the responsibility on you to remove the cognitive hurdle is more. It is not on him. You have to remove the cognitive hurdle. And the first cognitive hurdle you have to remove is the auditory hurdle. He will not hear what you are telling if you are not going to be making it clear to him that you should listen to what I am telling now. Don't worry. Things will become okay. Is it clear? Now let us see. You see, cognitive hurdle is a very, very tricky thing.
Sir, there is going to be a reduction. So even now the pronouncement is not very clear who is going to get the brunt.
Why should it be clear at this stage? He has already told that at the back of the hall there is a bound book. You go and see, you will find everything there. He has told you that you are not going to lose the job. A company has got hundreds and thousands of people working. On that room are a few managers. As long as they know that they don't lose the job and they have to drive it, is it not enough? And secondly, who is going to drive it?
Next,
they are going to
part of
drive
the
it.
speech is not blocked out in that case.
Huh?
With this pronouncement, the next part of the speech is going to be at least heard. And then
That's all. You see, after that, as the in your team, who should be removed and who should be kept, who will decide that? You will decide. Why should I decide that as a CEO? When I say that territories are going to be merged, maybe I merge 5 territories, 5 representatives are there, I make it into 2. Who 3 will go will be decided by you, not by me.
team lead. Yes.
The core team is going to be formed, the structure has been given, and that's there kept at the back of the room. Go see it and then go and talk to him. He is only drawing the wireframe of the strategy. The CEO and the board is not going to come down to the level of the shop floor and tell this nut has to be removed from here and put there. That is not the job of strategizing. You have got departmental heads, you have got vice presidents, you have got senior managers, you have got shop floor managers. All of them will be doing all these things. The core team is going to be formed. About 50 managers have been called. They are being told. But first, the board and the CEO have discussed and strategized. That has to be acceptable to the top management or the management of the company who is going to drive it. They are the people who are in the room. They are the one on whom first the cognitive hurdle has to be removed. When they talk down the line, they will also have to take steps to ensure the cognitive hurdle is removed from their subordinate's mind. This is an ongoing process. Cognitive hurdle does not stop with one level. For instance, Vikas is a consultant. He goes to the company where he is consulting. The first step he has to take is to ensure that his client, the owner of the company, does not develop a cognitive hurdle when he is talking some strategy to him. Because if at that stage a cognitive hurdle is created, everything is over. The owner feels, why the hell should I do this? Now, first thing is he has to ensure that the cognitive hurdle does not arise at that level. And then he has to ensure that his client realizes that in his communication down the line, cognitive hurdle might arise. So he has to handhold him through the process of his second in command being addressed in such a way that a cognitive hurdle does not arise there. That is where it is so very important. Are you understanding, Yogesh, what I'm telling? We will move on to see what are the common mistakes which companies make while addressing cognitive hurdles. There are a few common mistakes which companies make when they are addressing cognitive hurdles. You see, they rely very heavily on data and reports. Managers assume that by showing statistics and charts and performance reports, automatically they will be able to convince the employees for the need of change. That does not happen. Please remember one thing. If you can't create a picture to be formed in your mind, it will not embed. Statistics and reports do not create pictures in the mind. You know, you can show a sales head might present 30 slides or 40 slides, but there won't be any impact on the field people for the simple reason they will not feel the impact on their customer or their future of all these things. Second thing is top-down mandates without involvement. See, the CEO need not have called the managers and told them. You could have simply sent these bound books to those people or called them individually and spoken with them. But when you bring all the people together and address them, you also do another thing. Can any one of you tell me what else is happening here?
It's an emotional confidence in building.
It is transparency and inclusive approach.
Sensitizing.
The person individually, you will not touch it emotionally. If you call a person individually and tell him, will it not be transparency?
Yes, yes.
Then, in fact, you can connect emotionally better if you call a person individually. You can talk to the person individually and be even more transparent than you can be in a crowd. But a major victory is being achieved here.
Accountability is getting set up.
Individually also, individually accountability will be more set up. What are the 4 hurdles?
Cognizant.
Cognitive, critical, source, and
Motivation, political.
and motivational.
Motivation, herd behavior, herd mentality. When you are sitting next to the person, you will not want to show your fear to him. He will not want to show his fear to you. He will show he is very confident. You will show you are very confident. In the process, there is an upsurge of motivation when collectively you address people. Second thing is political alignments become visible. So you see, by this one move, not only is he ensuring that the cognitive hurdle is being addressed and the first step of bringing them to his side is being achieved, he is ensuring that he is creating the ground for a higher motivation among the people so that the motivational hurdles can be addressed easily. And he will be able to see through acute observation what sort of a political alignment is taking place and where it requires to be addressed. He need not observe 50 people. All that he will have to do is observe only 4 or 5 who are immediately reporting to him among that 50 to be able to understand the political alignments. Now, third thing is over communicating success instead of reality. People were telling that the nitty-gritties of the strategy has to be told. That is over communicating success instead of reality. Remember one thing, a strategy is at the formation stage. The more you try to talk too much about it, the more they will start picking holes in it. Give a wireframe and allow others to iterate on it and build. This is one of the mistakes companies make, is over communicating. Never do that. Never over communicate. Communicate to the extent that is required and allow them to fill in the gaps. Underestimating, informal influencers. Remember one thing, there will always be informal influencers in that group. That is one of the reasons, why you should not talk too much about anything when you are at a strategy stage. What happens? Now in that group, in that, what do you call it, breakout room activity, what did you observe? Did you not observe that each one of you were trying as far as possible, as best as possible, to push your agenda through?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Even when you are listening to the other person, you are working on your agenda in your mind. You are listening less to him, and after the two team members told, I said, anyone wants to say? Hands went up. Everyone felt, that he has not got an adequate hearing. Am I right or not? That means what? There is a silent influencer hiding within each one of us. Never underestimate the silent influencer, because he is the nucleus of political hurdle. If he is not going to get adequate hearing, he is going to throw a monkey wrench into the spanner just to prove that he is right. When we discuss political hurdles, we will see how to overcome all these things. Then, failing to acknowledge emotional impact. The emotional impact of the fear of losing a job is not small, it is very big. It is very, 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 very big and significant. That is the reason why when the CEO started speaking, taking into account the competing logic of the communicators' logic as well as the receiver's logic, the first thing he said after that first paragraph was, I am sure you must all be wondering this, so let me make it clear. You are not going to lose a job. He did not stop that. He said, when the company benefits, the reason for which it will benefit, that is you should also benefit, so you will be taken adequate care of. He left it there. He did not go into greater detail, because the devil lies in the detail. The more you go into detail, the more detail people will ask. And there'll be no end to it. So move on. That's why he says, now let's move on. Making change sound optional or vague. This is another very big problem. What did this strategy talk of? It talked about very specifically. Can you tell me where it really hit you? Where you started taking this strategy seriously? Where it hooked you? There was one point where it hooked you. Where was that?
Downside 12.4% manpower hit.
The hit was in those financial figures. 12.4% reduction, 7% increase, 1.8% net. That is where the hit came. Purposefully it was put to make it appear that the whole strategy has been adequately worked out. But what happens? Most companies, they make change look very, very vague. People say the company has to grow. Put a number. Put a number. I will meet more number of people. Put a number. I will meet 5 people this week. I will talk to 10 people. I will increase the sales by 20%. Put a number to it. Because any vagueness will create a cognitive hurdle. When you don't know exactly what you have to do, you never do it. Punishing instead of educating. Never punish. Educate them. If there is an objection to something, take your time to explain. But I'll tell you one thing very clearly. Many people even then will not understand. They will not. It simply will not enter into their head. What is good for them, they will not understand. Nothing can be done. Ignore it then. But never ever punish, educate. But most companies, the way they handle cognitive hurdle is through punishment. Assuming one size fits all messaging, no, it does not. That is why I said that the first lot is when you call everyone, address broadly the cognitive hurdle which will be created there. That is one of losing a job. Then as you move forward, each individual will have a certain cognitive hurdle that you will have to address. Ignoring small wins, however small the win may be, don't ignore it. Reward it. Cognitive hurdles can be overcome by rewarding even small wins. And finally, don't change everything at once. Just one thing at a time. You might want to do everything at the same time, but that can't be done. You will have to do one thing at a time. All these are major cognitive hurdles. Take a screenshot of this. Have you all taken? Now, what I want you to do as the assignment for next week is, I want you to tell me how you will address these 10 cognitive hurdles in your company, in your consulting, in your job. You will have to tell me how you will handle it. Just one sentence, 2 sentences is enough. You don't have to write a lot. Those of you who are not in a job like Anil sir or Mathur sir, doesn't matter. Imagine you are holding the same, head of accounts or head of engineering in that company, in the government where you are, and tell me how you will handle this.
Yes, sure.
Sure.
Can I be confident that you all will come back only with the answer?
Yes, sir.
Nageshwar Kumar? Done? Yeah. In your company, how you will handle this? This has to be done. Yogesh ji, can I be confident?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Because?
Guruji, yes, I just want to again confirm from you. What you are asking us to do is this 10 cognitive hurdles. We have to come out the way to
10
overcome
mistakes. 10 mistakes.
Okay.
10 mistakes. These are 10 mistakes which commonly companies make.
Correct.
How will you imagine each one of them? How will you overcome it?
How we take corrective measures.
What corrective measure you will take so that you don't do that?
Right, sir. Right, sir. Followed.
Is it clear?
So it means first we mentioned what we have done wrong, and then
This is
Gentlemen,
what you have done wrong is the top. वो जो है ना screen में वही है what there is no wrong. क्या नहीं करोगे आप, कैसे इसको overcome करोगे so that in your company it does not appear again, it does not happen by you. Because now I am going to talk to you about what the correct way of overcoming cognitive hurdle is. But there is a gap between the mistakes you make and the correct way. The bridge is how you will overcome that.
No, this overcoming on the same case study or different case study?
No case study. You just
Okay.
tell what you will do. For instance, relying too heavily on data and reports. This is a mistake which companies make.
Okay.
How will you correct it? Supposing you are the CEO of the company. What will you do? I will not tell you the answer. I want you to think. Like ignoring small wins. What will you do?
Can I answer?
Reward them
Yeah, tell me.
often.
Okay, look at the bigger picture.
What is the question?
Relying too heavily on data and reports.
Oh,
Raju sir is telling, look at the bigger picture. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else has got any other answer?
data and report are, they are, you cannot decide completely on trending now in future. In future, it could be different things also.
How will you correct it?
So, mistakes. So we should also take into care about other things also, instead of only data and.
Okay, I will only give you the answer for this.
Okay, sir.
Don't rely on data and reports. Data and reports are used for what? To create insight, right?
Yes.
Tell it in a story format. It will sit. Okay?
Right, sir.
Elon Musk, when he wanted to start this battery business, he called the leading investors of the world. Who are the leading investors? From Saudi Arabia, from all these oil companies, he brought. You know what he did? The first picture was of chimney spewing out smoke from refineries. He said, this is what fossil fuel is doing to our world. How would you like it if I were to give you an alternative which will produce energy 24 hours in a day, will not take leave even a single day, will not be off the grid even for a single moment, will continuously produce energy, and with just a small piece of land, entire US, he showed US with a small dot in the middle. He said, just by using this much of land, entire US can be charged, powered throughout the life. Can you tell me who it is? The next scene was Assam. You won't believe it. People were not willing to invest one penny. But with this one presentation of about 1.5 to 2 minutes, everyone said, how much you want? They just gave a blank check and said, fill it up. I want to be in it. That is the power of corporate storytelling. So like this, find out what it is that will be the answer to each one of these. Top-down mandates without involvement. Now, what will you do? I was with someone about 2 days back. He is the managing director of a company. He asked one of his senior managers, how much will you do this year? That guy gave a figure which was approximately 60 to 70% of what this fellow had in his mind. Do you realize what sort of a problem he was in? Because the moment he said that figure, he had anchored the figure in his mind. What is the solution? Top-down mandate has to be there. But how do you involve them in that top-down mandate? So that they will still perform through your mandate. These are what is called, see, don't take all these things to be simple. The assignment which I have given you is going to make you think. This bottoms up will not work. Just I will ask you a simple question. Supposing, let us say, Raju sir can do 100 rupees sales. How much will you give as a target, Raju sir, to me if I ask you how much sales you will do?
I will say 125.
No, you will say 90. Because you can do 100, you will commit 90 to me. Why? You will think, let me commit 90.
Offer.
I know that is the famous statement everyone makes. Sir, I am committing 90, but I will do 100. Someone has taught us commit less, overperform. Am I right or not?
Yes.
You will tell 90. I have got 5 people under me. 90 into 5, 450. My target is 500. It has become 450. Now my boss calls me. He says, Arun, how much will you do? I have got 450. If I should not fail, what should I commit to him? 400. Right? Now five people like that, 400 per head. They go to their boss. The managing director, how much will you do? They'll say, sir, 350 each. Where did that 500 land? It will never work. I'm telling you. This is what is called cognitive hurdle. So how you are going to handle, because as managers, as consultants, as proprietors or owners or promoters of the company, you need to know how to handle these mistakes which are happening in your company. They are happening. How do you overcome them? Now let us see what cognitive science suggests. You see, this is something which you are seeing here. You have taken a printout of this, you have taken a screenshot of this, and next time when you are coming in the next class on 26th, you are going to be submitting, you are going to be giving a presentation, each one of you for 2-3 minutes on how you will answer these. Right? Now let us see. What are the strategies which Blue Ocean suggests? The first one. Expose employees to harsh reality firsthand. Seeing is believing. Let me give you an example of what had happened. Bajaj Auto in the 2000s, the early 2000s, wanted to move from the declining scooter market towards motorcycle. But they did not just simply instruct their engineers and sales staff. They took the leadership team to the villages and showed them how customers were struggling with scooters and preferred fuel-efficient, stylish Hero Honda motorcycles. That is how they shifted. Please mute. I can hear background noise. Mr. Karpaswamy, can you mute?
Oh, sorry, sir.
Thank you. So you see, show your employees the harsh realities of what the truth is. Let them see firsthand. You will be able to overcome the cognitive hurdle of convincing them much easily then. Number 2, use, operatic dramas of horror shows. The banks in India were having serious problems. So what they did was, The senior management once staged a customer service horror show. What they did was they took the people, their staff, and created mock long queues, misplaced paperwork, and angry customers. They created people like that and made the staff face them. It created deep emotional response and made them even more, the resistant staff also, they started realizing that yes, things are pretty bad. Imagine you misplace a paper and you can't find it when you require it. What happens? The staff, the people who have come to the bank, they become very angry with you, start shouting, create nuisance. What happens to you then? Long queues are there. Suddenly at 5 o'clock in the evening, there's a huge queue. You can't close the bank and tell them to get out, no? Third thing, leverage fishbowl management. What is fishbowl management? Does anyone know what is a fishbowl management? Has any one of you heard the term fishbowl management? Mr. Vikas?
I am here, Guruji.
जरा ऑन कर दीजिए ना वीडियो. What is fishbowl management? अब कुछ सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है माथुर साहब आपका.
Sir, brainstorming ideas, problem solving techniques.
Fishbowl management is bringing to the fore the core problem for everyone to see in a totally focused manner. This was made popular by Toyota management system. Can you tell me which part of it I am talking about? The Andon card. You know what is an Andon card? How many of you have heard about it? I think Mr. Nageshwar Kumar knows. What is an Andon card?
Oh,
The complete.
we can visualize boards. And
When there is a problem in the chain, the value chain, the pull in the shop floor, if there is a problem somewhere, immediately the chain is pulled, the entire thing stops. Till that problem is solved, nothing will happen. No one will be able to work. That is called the fishbowl management. Everybody's eyes come, why did he pull the cord? What went wrong? Everybody's focus will come. Immediately, people will be forced to now take steps to correct it. That is another major way of handling cognitive hurdles. Then we come to 4, putting frontline staff in the shoes of customer. Can you tell me an example of this? Marriott Hotel is very famous for it. They got the award for best customer service because of this. What they do is, up to the CEO, everyone will have to go and work in the front office and in the kitchen and all places which is customer facing, so that they realize the challenges which the staff are facing. This immersion builds urgency for improvement. When you are serving the customers in the restaurant, in a Marriott hotel, and the server is a CEO for a day, he knows what the problem the fellow who is serving regularly is having. Suppose he becomes a bellboy. The CEO is a bellboy one day. Now he knows what the bellboy is facing, taking luggage and bringing luggage from there. Or, he is working as a person who cleans the room. He knows what the problem is. So putting putting frontline staff in the shoes of the customer. Here we are talking about frontline staff, but imagine if in Marriott, even the CEO has to do it. Then benchmark competitors visibly. This is another very beautiful thing which was done by one Indian company. There was a time when professional courier was having huge problems of service. Do you know how they overcame it? They took their management staff to, in various places, to the delivery service centers. Delivery, have you heard of it? It's a multinational company which is into, courier service. They took them to all those places, all the places to show them how the last mile delivery takes place in delivery. That is how they brought about seriousness in the minds of the management team. Benchmarking competitors visibly, take them, show them. Share compelling customer stories. A healthcare provider, shared a patient story where delays in report generation cause life-threatening consequences. I don't want to take the name of the hospital. It is in Bangalore. It is very, very famous. But unfortunately, there were serious problems about report generation. And then, the promoter, who is a very famous person, he called all the people and took them through the entire thing. He showed them how, delay in report generation was causing life-threatening consequences for some of his patients. There was a huge change, sea change happened after that. Use analytics selectively but powerfully. Don't use figures right, left, and center. Using bar charts and other things might not work. Use them very selectively, but use them embedded in the storyline so that it will have an impact. Tell them stories of what has happened. Be an example. If you can't be an example, nobody's going to follow you. Believe me, nobody's going to follow you. You have to be an example. The biggest example of this is Infosys. When Infosys decided that they are going to go digital, Narayan Murthy and Vishal Sikka, they took mentorship from junior people who understood digital world better than them. Are you aware of it? Go and read it. Juniors in Infosys mentored Vishal Sikka and Narayan Murthy. That is how they showed by example that people need to learn and become something. You just cannot be, mouthing platitudes and expect results. Involve naysayers in diagnosing problems. There are many people, who say, "Arey, ye nahi ho sakta hai." Involve them in diagnosing the problems. Turn critics into allies. Instead of ignoring or fighting opposition, involve them in the issues. Their participation will increase the buying. A manufacturing company was having, a manufacturing company was having serious problems. And whatever change they were trying to do was being resisted by the trade union people. So what do you think the management did? They said, okay, fine. You understand better than us the labor force. You have been in the shop floor for so long. You know what the desired output should be, 90%, 98%, whatever it is. You come and find out and tell us what should be done so that we can get the 98% output. Enough. That put everything to rest. I'm not telling this will work everywhere. I'm not telling this will work every time. But this is one of the ways by which you can overcome cognitive hurdle. A cognitive hurdle is what? A problem of perception. When a solution is given to you, you perceive that as not being proper or appropriate for you. Then finally, create a compelling vision of the future. People don't move just to avoid pain. They move towards promise. Please understand that. You know, in the empathy mapping, you have the value proposition, you have pain, you know, gain also is there. Gain is also very important. Airtel, you know, used a mix of customer pain stories, network dropout, future vision, seamless 4G experience to drive internal transformation and retain its field engineers and customer support teams. These are 10 ways that you can overcome cognitive hurdles. These are the 10 ideal ways that cognitive science says you can overcome cognitive hurdles. Number one, expose employees to harsh reality firsthand. Seeing is believing. Use horror shows. Make people experience the pain of what the customer is facing. Like I told you in the case of the banks, the tellers and others, you know, some people were set up so that one day there were huge lines. There was dissatisfaction among the customers. They started fighting with the people. They were all trained to do that. And then people were trained to misplace papers so that the people who are working there would be frustrated searching for it. That is when the people, the bank employees realized what pain is. Leverage a fishbowl management. Put the problem at the center of everybody's eyes, as in the hand-on card. Put frontline staff in the shoes of the customer, the way Marriott does, where every manager, every employee has to go and work at the customer-facing position at least once in 3 months or once in 6 months, depending upon his position. Benchmark competitors visibly. Take your key personnel to the competitor and show them how things are done better. Share compelling customer stories. Develop the art of telling corporate stories to your people. Don't talk numbers. Don't talk aspirations. Talk stories. Tell them. Use analytics selectively but powerfully. Embed those analytics into the stories. Be an example to your people. Practice what you preach. Involve naysayers in diagnosing problems. Whenever you find a person complaining this can't be done, involve him in finding the solution for it. Don't fight with him. Don't, put him down. Create a compelling vision of the future. Show them what the future can possibly be. Remember one thing. Our Vedas also says, Aham Brahmasmi. I am the creator. What you can visualize, you can create. If you can't visualize, you can't create. Please understand that clearly. Only that which you can visualize, you can create. If you are going to be visualizing excuses, if you are going to be visualizing reason, that is what you will create. More reasons for failing, more excuses for not doing something. Thank you, friends. 22:30. 2.5 hours. Next class is on 26th. I sincerely hope all of you will come.
Today is
26
26.
तो आज
Today
ही,
is 26, sir.
When is the next class?
I think second day.
Second or हाँ second है. चलो. Thank you. Next class is on second. Mr. Sanjay.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. You see.
I had to join late, sir, because
No
of
issue, no issue. You can see the recording. Now, can you take a screenshot of this?
okay, 1 minute.
Now, I want you, these are the common mistakes in addressing cognitive hurdles. The assignment for today evening is, how will you address each one of these?
Okay.
Come with it in the next class. Everyone will have to make a presentation on that. The whole idea is, just attending classes is of no use. You will have to start practicing so that you will be able to get better at doing it. I am available. And second thing, let me again, with folded hands, I'm requesting you. Then you come to the class, tell everybody and everything not to disturb you for that period of time. It is for you, I'm telling. Otherwise, it is just another class, that's all. Everything will go over your head. As we move into the other three hurdles, things are going to become pretty difficult, I'm telling you. They are not going to be very easy. But it is like swimming. Once you learn, drowning becomes a problem. A swimmer can never drown easily, you know that? So please, any questions? I'm open.
Arun sir, I just have one question.
Yeah.
When we spoke about that example of the scientific dress or whatever it is, that hi-fi.
High-tech, yeah.
Yeah, high-tech dress.
Uh,
Now, over there, you mentioned about, cognitive hurdles.
yeah.
One is the resource and all that. But generally, what happens is in real life, based on my experience, generally because it is the business which drives all the other things.
I
So
don't
when
understand. Yeah, explain.
No, what I'm saying is it is the sales which drives all the other cost factors. So when
What makes you say that?
Yeah, because when you're doing a budgeting or forecasting or anything, the starting point is your sales. Now, you first estimate that, you assume that there are no constraints.
That's a wrong way of budgeting itself. That's totally a wrong way of budgeting.
I've been doing this for more than 2 decades.
That's okay.
No, because if it depends on the business model. It is, if it is made to
Listen,
stock.
the business model, what does it say? Where does the business model begin?
Because in a manufacturing company,
Where do you have sales in the business model? Do you have a column called sales in the business model? Please show me where it is.
no, that is the top line which drives all the other factors, no?
Who told you that? That's precisely what I'm asking. You have a customer, he has a need. You are fulfilling a need. The product or service is an outcome of the expression of that need. Right? Then you have the segment, how you reach it is the channel.
Yes.
The relationship you build with him is the relationship. Through this, you generate revenue. Correct? Some people say that sales is equivalent to revenue. Am I right? It is not. Is it possible for you to generate 100 rupees revenue with 1 unit? And you might generate 100 rupee revenue with 10 units. Am I right or wrong? Now, what is this sales? This 1 unit or 10 units? What has decided that?
No, but it depends when you're doing the budget process. What is your starting point? Your starting point is the sales, which drives all the other things.
No. Why should it be the sales?
Then what it should be?
You tell me.
I'm very clear in my mind that it's sales is a starting point.
Fine.
Sir, in BMC, we have been talking about customer needs, customer
You
centricity.
see, I'll tell
as a-
you, you are talking about a financial statement.
Not really, Arun, sir.
What
Okay.
else is it? You tell me.
No, I think we need to have a discussion on that. I
Okay,
don't.
okay. Tell me one thing. Supposing you are a service industry,
Yes.
then
Even if it's a service industry, we'll have individual salespeople who would, like the example you have given, 400 per each person, like whatever it is. So, okay, 9 people, whatever. So that, there'll be a starting point when you're preparing a budget. It all starts from how much each person is able to generate. Then the cost structure, everything comes in, follows that. Okay, but I think I'll have a detailed discussion with
no,
you.
no, no, you see, you are putting the horse in front of the cart. What decides the value of what decides the revenue which you are going to generate? What decides? Apple telephone costs $1,000. Okay? The same hand phone, the purpose of what the Apple hand phone is, what it is achieving, is also available for 10,000 rupees. Correct or not?
Yes.
Now tell me, how do you justify it? Is it from sales you are starting? Please tell me. Is this $1,000 which he is charging you? What is he charging for? Is he charging for the handphone? Is he charging for the talk time? Is he charging for the data? Is he charging for the apps? Is he charging for the music which he is giving you? Is he charging for the aesthetic? What is he charging for?
He is charging for the
Brand.
Where did your sales picture come in? You see, in a way, if you are going to talk in a gross way that how much revenue I am going to generate as sales, I have nothing to say. Revenue is not sales. You start with how much revenue you want to generate. Then you move possibly into how that pie is going to be sliced into various segments. Is that what you are telling?
It will actually be a bottom-up approach where individual channels, okay, these are the total things, and okay, this will be the total target we want to achieve. Then the cost structure supporting it.
Where the mistake lies, sir, when it is bottoms-up approach.
How will you have a bottoms-up approach in this?
No,
You
that
mean
is
to tell me you will start
initial
off?
step.
Are you trying to tell me that you will start